Hello everyone, I'm Morgan, and today I wanted to do the My Favorite Writers tag. I saw this tag done by someone, I don't remember anymore, a month ago, something like that. I don't remember who created it, but I will link to the creator's video down below, as always. Without further ado, let's get into it. Basically, what you have to do in this tag is tell 6 not quite favorite writers, 4 that are maybe your favorite writers, and 5 who your 5 favorites ranked. So first, 6 authors that are not quite my favorites. 1. Khaled Hosseini. He wrote The Kite Runner and All of the Splendid Suns. I think that's the name. I loved both of them. They were historical fiction set in another country. I don't remember anymore because it's been some time, but it was really interesting and they were all going through a war. And I have another one of his books on my TBR, which I'm excited to get to. The second one is Otesha Moshfegh. I have read Eileen by her and My Year of Rest and Relaxation. I really enjoyed both of them, and I'm really looking forward to what she does in the future, and I would like to read her backlog, which is very small. The third is Colson Whitehead. I have read his last book recently, and The Underground Railroad, which won the Pulitzer Prize in 2016 or 17. I quite enjoyed both of them, but they weren't like my ultimate favorites. 4 is Samantha Shannon, but honestly, I think I wrote this a bit while back and now I would totally call her one of my favorites, but anyway. She's the writer of The Bone Season, as I've been talking about so much, and she also wrote The Party of the Orange Tree, which I do want to read. 5 is Ian McEwan. I have read... what have I read? I have read Nutshell by him and On Chesil Beach. I liked On Chesil Beach much more than Nutshell, but I do really enjoy Ian McEwan's writing, so I'm looking forward to reading more of his books. Martha Wells for 6. She is the writer of the Murderbot Diaries that I have loved this year. They are so great and I actually really want to reread them. So 4 authors that are maybe my favorite authors. 1 is Sally Rooney. She wrote Normal People and Conversations with Friends. I gave both of those 5 stars. I'm only saying she's maybe my favorite author because she hasn't written more and maybe I won't like what she does in the future. But for now, I'd say she's probably one of my favorite authors. Second is Margaret Atwood. I have read The Handmaid's Tale by her and nothing else so far, so that's why I put her in the maybe pile. I haven't read enough by her to know if she's a favorite or not, but I have heard she's very talented and I have seen it so far, so I'm looking forward to reading more by her. I have a few of her books on my shelves. Third author that is maybe my favorite is Daphne du Maurier. Again, I've only read one book by her, Rebecca, and I really loved it. It's one of my favorites of all time now, but I haven't read more, so I don't know if it's really a favorite or not. 4 is Marlon James. Again, I've only read one book. It was a brief history of 7 killings, and I thought it was great and gruesome, but it was mostly great, and I loved the writing. I have his last book on my shelves, Black Leopard White Wolf, but I'm afraid of reading it, so you know. And now, my 5 favorite authors ranked. So, the 5th one is Bret Easton Ellis. I don't know what to say about him. I have loved every one of his books that I have read, but I would say he's not for everyone, and he seems to be a very cynical man, and that's kind of why I like his books. I think they're brilliant. His characters are very often assholes, but they're also really interesting, and there is a point to the story. Like, it really goes somewhere. So yeah, I don't know. I love those. 4 is Becky Chambers. She's the writer of the Wayfarer series that I think you can see behind me. I love that series so much. It's so wholesome, and I don't know, I feel so good while I'm reading it, and I would love to live in this world, honestly. 3 is Salman Rushdie. I don't know what to say about him. I really love his books. He has a way of writing that is very peculiar, and it just works with me. Second is Donna Tartt. I cannot wait for her to write more books, but she has only written 3 so far that I have read and enjoyed all of them, though one of them is a bit weaker than the others, but anyway. The Secret History and The Goldfinch are one of my favorite books of all time. They're amazing, and I have reread both of them, and I plan on doing it again in the future. And the first one is David Mitchell. I am in awe of this man. I love his ideas for books. They're all different, but he has a way of writing that is similar in each of his books, because he doesn't follow a linear way of telling a story, so it makes it so much more interesting, in my opinion. A lot of people would say that his book can be confusing, and I get why, but I take it as some kind of a challenge to remember everything, because so often you have multiple characters in the books, and it doesn't actually tell you that it's a new character or where you are or anything except in Cloud Atlas, which is why I think this one is the most popular, because it's not as confusing as the others. But I mean, I haven't actually loved every single one of his books, but still, I always thought that they were really good even when I didn't love them. So, yeah. Anyway, that's all for me. I hope you enjoy this. Please tell me what your favorite authors are, as I would love to know. But anyway, these are mine, and I can't wait for them to write more books, for the ones that are alive, I guess. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Please tell me if you've read any of the books that I mentioned, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye. Dream I know, deep up my feelings for you.